Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Spencer. This is my nearly 40-year-old brother, Lance. You can tell by the gray in his beard. And this is
In the garage.
We're getting better at that. All right. So tonight, we have been on a lot of adventures together.
We have.
And it seems like you haven't learned anything.
I would like to argue with that, but I have no good defense.
That's a hangover quote for anybody. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. It was Stu said that.
Close. All right. We are going to take a little trip back in time. We have made now nearly 400 videos. Lance just looked it up. What was the number?
393 videos as of this recording.
We should have waited to 400 probably to make this as some sort of an anniversary thing.
Could.
But 400, kind of a weird anniversary anyways. You think you would do 500. But no, so nearly 400 videos. And we're going to go back through and reminisce and talk about some of our favorite projects that we have done on the channel.
Yeah.
Now, we do a lot of reviews. I know. Those aren't included in this. We were talking about actual project cars. Like what's something we rebuilt?
The one that comes to mind, I feel like I should save this till last, maybe. But I love that 2014 F-150. The
2014 F-150?
It's
the $2,000 one.
Yeah, like $2,100 buy it now on Copart with like 14,000 miles or something. Like it was super low miles.
Yeah. So it was. I'm gonna try to find it here, but you can give them the story of what the deal was with that and the whole thing, because we got that wrecked one then that was awesome as well.
Yeah, I was addicted to Copart at that point. I still maybe would be, but I don't have any money, so that has kind of cured that a little bit.
Yeah, Copart. You think they hate you when you have money? Can you imagine what they think of you if you don't?
Yeah, I just canceled my membership. So, no, I'll be back someday. But no, man, I was scrolling through Copart every single day, and it was actually I was down in Florida during COVID, and sitting at my brother-in-law's like wedding venue rental house. And I'm scrolling down through and I see a buy it now on a 2014, I think it was, F-150.
So only
I remember
7 years old?
Yeah, at that point it was like 6 years old. It was 2020 or 2021, something like that. I think 2020. And nonetheless, I'm looking at this thing and it's a buy it now for $2,100, I think. And I thought, I don't really care what the situation is. I think it's worth that. Like it's worth that in scrap or whatever. So I just clicked the old buy it now thinking maybe somebody priced it wrong or something like that. And truly, even after fixing it, I think I handed a pretty good deal along to a friend of mine. A friend of mine from high school saw the video and wrote me and said, "Hey man, I want that truck when it's done." And I want to say I sold it to him for maybe like 14 or 15,000. And I might have had 6 into it or something like that. I don't know. It was a great deal. I made good money. He got a good truck. He's still driving it to this day, actually.
Is he still driving?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, I think it has maybe like 180,000 or something like that on it now.
So I just looked it up. It was a $2,200 is what
22.
Paid,
okay.
Hit directly in the square front of the frame.
Yeah.
So it
looked like a telephone
Yeah, it took
pole.
out like the cross members and stuff,
Yeah.
but the actual frame kind of bent it in. But we have a really good, not cheap, but good frame place near us, and they made it look better than what it was from factory.
Yeah, their new welds were actually better than the factory welds.
Oh, it was. Yeah, I think that truck is now more structurally sound than it was from the factory.
Yeah.
That sometimes we do rebuilds correctly.
Yeah,
and I think that was one of the ones where we did.
Yeah.
I feel no. So the part that I thought you were going to talk about in that story is the parts truck that we got along with it, which I'll put up on the screen now so people can see. Do you remember the parts truck?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the parts truck actually ended up being a little bit of a kind of a gold mine itself. I think I paid for the whole parts truck exactly what I sold the engine on the parts truck for. So everything else that I got off of it was kind of gravy, including the frame sections and all that stuff. But we did a fun video. I don't know how.
Yeah, I got 113, almost 114,000 views on it. So that also probably almost paid for.
Yeah, the parts truck was so trashed But just for comedy, we decided we were going to show people how to straighten the frame on it. And we did this thing with like toe straps and chains.
Oh, yeah, I actually forgot about
all
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did 150 feet of toe straps or something up the driveway and took off.
Yeah. But anyway, it's fun. I don't know how this video works as far as like being able to link or cross-reference stuff, but if there's any way for us to kind of
You can put it up top.
drop that. Oh, you can like during this.
Point where you want it.
Well, okay, there's like 3, so I don't know. Like, I think it'd be nice to have, a video of the rebuilt F-150, a video of the parts truck, like maybe when we first got it, and the frame pulling episode.
Right. So you can do one at a time, but I like what you did there.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. That was like 3 seconds apart. So like 1, 2,
and 3.
and then 3.
All right. Okay.
Okay?
I like it.
Yeah.
The 14 F-150, that was a fun one.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I had one that I wanted to put in there. I'm debating if I should. I don't want to tell the whole story because we might do something with this later.
Oh.
But that would be, we might have another podcast episode.
Okay.
But our race car, the race car on the roof,
Yeah.
which is not where you want your race car to be. You want it on the ground for most people that I've talked to. But we got for free a shell.
What? Why don't you tell them how the free item transpired?
Okay. I'm going to tell this story faster than what I was originally talking. There's a quick restaurant called Quaker Steak and Lube. It is a race-themed restaurant. There's still a few around today, but not as many as there used to be. Ours went out of business, and they have cars on the roof and hanging from everywhere. There was like another Corvette that had no drivetrain, but it was a real Corvette. This was a shell on like a show car frame, so there's nothing to it. It's just the body. And some wheels on the roof of this Quaker Steak and Lube that is now being turned into a bar. The guy wants it off the roof because that doesn't fit their theme, and they put it up for free. I thought that's pretty cool. I messaged Lance. It says free to whoever can get it down. I'm like working that day. It's not even like a free day. And I texted it to Lance just because I thought we were going to, banter back and forth about this thing. Okay. And he goes, all right, I told the guy I'll be there in 45 minutes with the truck. I was like, what? And
I thought he wanted me to contact the guy.
Yeah. You did. And so that one, that was a fun series. We still have that. It's turned into the Dale Earnhardt car. It was fun, but I'll save the whole story for another day, for a different podcast. But that was one of my fun ones.
Nice. Yeah, I always like that one. And I don't know how many people are with us for the, podcast episodes that maybe weren't there from the beginning. I'd like to believe there's a decent amount of people that maybe haven't seen some of this other stuff. So it is kind of fun to reminisce and do some throwbacks.
I'm scrolling down through
Skeleton Sky.
The Skeleton Sky, which we still have to this day. But that's a fun story. Getting it in the middle of that sort of town street, but it's back behind the guy's house.
Yeah.
It was on a main road. You remember it was like on a main road.
Yeah, it was.
I
couldn't back the trailer in without blocking traffic.
Yeah, we had to block traffic. We pulled it.
Yeah.
Out from the weeds behind his house. Had been sitting for a while.
Yeah.
And we got it out. It really wasn't. It wasn't sketchy, but it was inconvenient.
Yeah.
It was not one where you're like, oh yeah, I can get this thing out, no problem. No, it was. We had to tow it through the guy's yard, and I think we took out some of his bushes, but he said it was okay.
Do you think that guy owned that car?
It had no title.
Okay.
And it was back behind his house under a cover.
Okay.
And he never gave us his name.
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
Yeah. I don't even have that story.
Yeah.
We're going to do another one about our best car stories, unrelated to the channel. And we have one about I don't want to say the car was stolen, but
was a striker.
It was not. They didn't buy it. Okay. I'm looking down through some other fun car. So you did the Sky. I'm going to go with, all right, this is going to be a surprise. When I started my channel, actually the car that I started it with was a Pontiac G6 GTP two-door, which I thought was pretty cool. And actually, I still kind of like the looks of those cars today. However, I found out that that car is really not good at anything, really. Like, it's not that reliable. It wasn't really that fast. It didn't handle that well. It just kind of, it was red and, you know, I don't know. I didn't pay that much for it.
Is it a buy or a bust?
That one would have been a bust. I don't know. The G6 in general is probably a buy, but depends on which one.
Yeah.
That's a whole other thing. But I sold it and I bought a Chrysler 300. And that is really what started my channel. I still have some followers who really love Chrysler 300s. I have not bought, well, I did buy, we've bought several and rebuilt several. But that was kind of my first like project car other than like a truck when I turned 16. And we did a little things to it. It really wasn't anything crazy, but I had some fun with it.
I think you owe a shout out on that one. I
Sean
know we
Bond?
Yeah, you got to tell him. Yeah,
all right. Yeah. Yep, absolutely. Sean Bond is a follower on there who has been with me since the beginning, like probably 200 subscribers.
Yeah.
So appreciate you, buddy.
Canadian, right?
Canadian, yeah.
Yeah. We've got a few really faithful Canadians.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, thank you to the Canadians. You guys are
we
representing
trashed the Canadian dollar in the last episode. So
well, I mean, they kind of did that to themselves, but
why? All right. Well, they called it a loony and a toonie. Okay, they named something that, and then also they made it smell like maple syrup.
Right. Well, that's cool. That's cool. The wheels up there.
Square.
Okay.
Square.
I just didn't know if that was a
hard
rumor.
To balance.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Absolutely.
Got it. Okay. Nice.
I did not make that up. Okay.
Is it my turn?
Y'all, it's your turn, buddy. I mean, I'm just going through the list of fun stuff that we have worked on.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, the Porsche. The Porsche was a crazy ride. Truly never really got it sorted out. It's actually the first time that I ever heard of anything on a car getting sorted. Okay? It's actually like a thing that gets said on Porsche forums all the time. They're like, oh yeah, definitely buy that car if it's been sorted. And that just simply means that like somebody's gone through the list of all the problems, like mile and a half long, and they've fixed them all. And it's, for at least right now, running okay.
Today.
But man, Porsche, I was excited to have a 911. I thought that was a really cool thing, to have a Porsche 911, just because that's kind of the Porsche you want. But
it was what, an 02?
I don't know, 01 or 02 probably. But it was fun to look back and go, yeah, I had a Porsche, but man, that thing was a wild ride. It handled pretty well. I did not care for the fact that when driving that car, you had to have it screaming to feel power.
Yeah,
they really work in the high RPM range. And I didn't care for that. Like,
well, it also wasn't a fast car. They were only like 300 horsepower or something. They weren't a fast car.
Yeah.
I just saw one that I gotta give the shout out to, and that is the world's cheapest S10 Blazer. And frankly, that title I gave it based on zero research and just thinking that I got a good deal. I think there's one that's been sold for less. I'm sure many have been given away.
Probably junkyards have bought them.
Yeah, some people probably paid people to get that thing out of.
There's probably junkyards that bought them.
However, I don't think any of those are still running like this Blazer is. So the $400 Blazer, I bought that actually right before we bought the Duramax. Like, it was fairly close before that. And I was like, this will be a fun little four-wheel drive project. I didn't have an off-roader. I don't think at that point. No, I didn't have anything off-road.
Yeah.
Capable, fun to go out and just play in the woods. And it popped up on Facebook Marketplace, $400. The guy said it runs and drives good. I think he's like, I have new control arms because they're rusted or something. And so I was like, I'm going to go buy this thing. So I texted the guy immediately and I said, when can I be there? I have cash in hand. I will come meet you right now. And it wasn't far from us either, like 20 minutes away, which is just awesome because we live in the middle of nowhere. So the guy said the absolute earliest I can meet is 5 p.m. I work until 4:30 or whatever, and it takes me a half hour to get home from work. And I said, okay, I will be there at 5 o'clock. And so I arrived early. I arrived at 4:45 to four other people, three or four other separate people who were there to also look at it. He just timed everyone, and the guy is home. He made it home early. And I'm sitting there thinking, son of a gun. Like, there is no possible way I get this thing because there's already people here. They've been here. They're already talking to the guy. They got it running out in the front yard. So I didn't get to test drive it. I didn't get to do anything, which I didn't, for $400, I didn't really care, but I still was hoping that I could drive it home because I didn't bring a trailer or plan for that at all. I don't even know if we really had a trailer at that point or a reliable one.
Yeah.
Well, we've never had a reliable trailer.
Sure, that's pretty good.
Do the lights work?
Sort of.
The brakes work?
Yeah, sometimes.
Depends which vehicle it's plugged into.
Yeah.
But anyways, I just walked up to the guy, or it's like a circle now with the owner kind of, managing an auction. And the guy goes, I'll do $400. Guy next to him says, I'll do $450, but I have to run and get the cash. I had the $400 literally in my hand, and I somehow ended up standing next to the guy, but I've not said a word to a person at this point. And I'm thinking, well, the guy who offered $400 after, is like, whatever, is probably going to walk up or whatever. And the owner goes, I don't want to get into a bidding thing. And I thought, well, this is my only shot. I'm just going to have to be a rude person. And I took the $400 and I put it in his hand with like no words said other than I might have said like, here you go.
Yep.
And he took it because people don't not take money. You put money out, they'll take it. And everyone else just walked away. I'm thinking I'm about to get like in a yelling, like you son of a gun, you just stole that. And I did. That is the truth. I did that. I have absolutely zero regrets about it. It's one of my favorite stories. If you were one of those people, you should have been a little more bold. You should have put the money in his hand.
What if one of those people was actually going to take care of it?
In fairness, this was after I said I'm going to restore this thing, which was my plan. The opposite has happened, but it is still running. I have put lots of new parts, tires, things like that on it. It actually runs pretty much just as good as when I got it. So,
well, restore and destroy have a lot of similar letters.
yeah, almost all the same. All right, that was a long story, but yeah, that is my favorite car buying experience, and is to this day probably my favorite car to drive around, which I say every time we shoot one of those videos, and I'm going to continue saying it because I love it.
Nice.
All
right. Well, I don't know, man. I think we're getting like a little long-winded here. Should we like wrap it up with at least the top one or two or something, or is that a top one?
Oh, that's going to be one of my top ones. That could be three. We could end with 2 and 1.
It doesn't have to be really a countdown, I guess, but I just was curious.
We haven't been ranking. I wasn't ranking them in my head. I was just talking.
I just looked at this.
I like telling stories.
I'm looking at this red truck on here.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with it.
Okay. But I feel like we should talk about like 2 of them. And I think that one should maybe be the last one.
Yes.
So,
I think, being the marquee vehicle of the channel.
Yeah.
All right. What's one of your other ones? I can scroll forward here for a second so you can see some of the other ones. Because we have a lot that we have forgotten.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure.
You already have it.
Well, I still own it, so it's kind of special to me. The Hummer H2. I like my Hummer H2, and for those who don't know, they're just kind of it's not a huge thing. Like it wasn't something that like became a big moment in the history of my life, but. For anybody that's been watching the channel for a while knows that our dad passed away several years back, and like literally days before that happened, he was in here in Pennsylvania.
It was unexpected. Like
it was. He popped in because I had a new baby that was just born, and he wanted to hold his new granddaughter. Yeah. So in this trip, he's in the house and holding the baby and things like that. And we all kind of had this little lull in the conversation where we're like, well, let's go work on something. Said, Dad, come on, let's go put new brake lines on the Hummer H2, the one I just bought that had rusted out brake lines.
It'll be quick.
Yeah. but we spent the afternoon installing new brake lines, and it was just kind of a dad-son, thing, like us all working on it together.
Yeah, our other brother Ricky was with us, and
so it was something kind of cool. And anyway, and so then, long story short, he flew back to Colorado where he was living at the time, and passed away during that time, just a few days after, and totally unexpected. But then we kind of had that as the last project we all worked on together. So the Hummer has a special place in my heart just because of that. Like it's a cool thing. I can't say I'd never get rid of it, because I think the thing eventually will probably rot to nothing and just need to be gotten rid of. But I'm gonna hang on to it for as long as I can.
I like it. I like that one. I kind of forgot about the H2, even though we've worked on it a lot recently.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw one more in there that I think is a fun one. And this was my F-150 build with Rough Country. So Rough Country and we worked together. My buddy had just bought a pap truck. I mean, it was... the most base F1 2017-18 F-150, but did have the Coyote in it. But it had power windows, but that was about the only option. Steel wheels and just, basic. And he told me on a conversation, we were talking, and he's like, man, I think I'm going to get some wheels for this or whatever. And we had just done the Duramax, so the channel was doing well. And I said, well, let me see what we can do if we can do a video series. So anyways, it worked out to do that. Got to transform it, but it was like an under the gun one. So he dropped it off on a Sunday afternoon. And I was working an office job at the time, 9 to 5. And so he dropped it off, and I needed to have it up there to him in Vermont. Like, this is 6.5 hours from us the next Friday. Maybe Saturday morning, I forget. But I said, all right, well, we're going to get it done. So Lance and I came out here and started. We worked until I don't know, 11 maybe.
It was late.
11. I would go home and sleep from 11:30 till 3 or 4. Come back over here, work from 3 or 4 till 8. I think I was 9 to 5 at that job. So I think I worked here till 8. And I was I needed to be professional. So I would scrub up as much as I could and get into professional clothes in the sink over here. And then go to work, come back home, change into the same clothes that I changed out of here. Yeah. And went up and we got it done. But I mean, we got it done just in the nick of time. We were working on it.
It was close.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a fun one. So I think you can finish. Did I pick that one? Yeah, I picked the last one. So all right, man. I think let's do our final one, which would be the ultimate rebuild that we did.
Yeah. As far as transformations go, I don't think there's a one that's bigger than this one. And this one actually started off. I'm proud to say it was originally my truck, although I didn't know how anything was going to turn out with it. We needed for the long-standing OBS swap project, we needed a good Duramax powertrain. And
is the OBS project done?
It's not even someday.
I apologize. We truly, and I've shown it, I think, on camera a couple times for the OBS.
Yeah,
we have stacks of parts.
Yeah, we do actually.
Wheels.
Kryptonite parts.
It's in the plans. There's thousands of dollars worth of parts. Don't rob us. But there's a bunch of parts sitting over there.
Yeah.
So we've made an investment into it. Anyways.
So, I mean, I have $10,000 truck sitting around that is the
donor,
the donor project for it.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
So anyway,
and 3 other trucks that we bought to also be the donors.
Anyway,
so
it doesn't matter.
I don't know how you got off on that.
Yeah. So anyway, Spencer sends a thing that this guy that's kind of an up and comer on YouTube at the time named Whistling Diesel, and now he's a household name for a lot of folks. But at that point, he was not quite there yet. Although he was
big. I think he had
was-
four
he was-
or 500,000.
he was trending upward for sure.
Yeah.
But he sends me a picture of this like rolled over Duramax and goes, "Hey, he says it still runs and drives just fine." And wanted some very reasonable price for it. I forget what it was, $3,000,
$2,000
or $3,000, something like that.
Yeah.
And whoever was the first person to get PayPal, sent to him that night or whatever would be good. So Spencer got a few connections to get a hold of him, just to make sure that he knew that we were sending the money. Got his PayPal address, sent the money, and Spencer went out and got it.
I got to give one shout out, and that would be to Send It Steve.
Okay.
This is a shout out episode.
Yeah.
I had become friends with Steve. We were acquaintances, I guess.
Yeah.
I had met him to buy a shirt and stuff, and I was watching his things, but he had contact with Whistling Diesel at that time.
Yeah.
He saw my message of 500 messages or comments on Instagram saying that we're interested.
Yeah.
I'll send the money. And I'm like, I see the 500 things, and I'm like, man, we're never getting
No.
this. Like, it had already been posted for 2 hours or something. And Steve messaged me and was like, hey, man, if you're serious, I'll talk to him. And so about 30 seconds later, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, the conversation started and we got it done. So I had no power in that. I had 1,500, 2,000 subscribers maybe at that point in time. Something like that.
Yeah, that's kind of when the jump happened, like when he reported he was buying that or that we were buying that, however you want to say it. That everybody came on and started subscribing and wanted to see that. And it was never supposed to be a project for like restoring that vehicle, but everybody pushed it so hard from the comments and things saying, bring it back to life, that we're like, maybe we do that. And so that one, I personally sunk a lot of money into making that thing happen. But when it was all said and done, Spencer ended up buying it from me and giving me, I believe, every cent back that I put into it. So,
I made from the YouTube revenue, which we did a full breakdown video on the financials of it prior to me re-wrecking it the other time. That didn't help.
Yeah.
But we basically broke even. A lot of free labor. Just an insane amount of free labor. But the coolest thing about this was how my wife didn't love it.
My wife hated it.
Yeah.
Like, to this day, she resents it.
It was COVID. And so we both had like time where we could have spent probably at home or with our wives. And what we did instead is we worked right over here to our left. Like a lot. Like 10,
every day.
Yeah. For 2-3 months. And then we did take a lull in the middle. There was some, things opened back up and we had to go like back to work. But there was like a 3, 4, 6 week period, I don't know, something in there where we're just out here every day. And my wife was like, everybody else is home and you guys are never home. Or Lansing, I guess, kind of was. But so it was wild. Still have it to this day. Will do some improvements to it at some point in time. But honestly, it's like running well and I don't need to do anything to it. Like the project is done-ish. I mean, a project like that's never done because there's still there's little interior bits or something that don't quite match, or it rattles, or I want to add put the rock lights back on. There's a few things, but overall, it runs, it drives in a very functional, everyday type of way.
You gonna do a Bentley Starlight headliner?
Oh, absolutely.
Or is that Rolls Royce? I don't love it.
I think that they are now the minority cars with the Starlight headlights.
Yeah.
I think it's mostly like maybe like a 2012 Nissan Altima, some Duramaxes. Yeah, it's you can do it.
You can actually do it cheaper if you want. You just get one of those little laser Starlight projectors and you mount that on the floor of your car, aiming upward.
There you go. So I mean, that's the ultimate project. And we've done so many other ones. I can't even, if we went back through, we've done a couple motorcycles through the year.
Yeah, I like bikes.
We've done, I don't know, a bunch of rebuilds.
Yeah.
Like some on camera, some off camera. The H3. That was another fun one, but I don't have any sentimental attachment to the H3 either. So not one of my favorites. So, all right, guys, I think that is the end of our favorite projects or ones that we wanted to kind of reminisce about here for a little bit.
I'd be curious if anybody that has watched this tonight that feels like they have one that they're close to that they love and they want to put it in the comments about, they remember this one or that
a
one.
favorite video. Actually, that would be fine too.
Yeah.
We could talk like
I got one, but that's a separate category.
I don't know if it's a separate category.
I'm saving that one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it the? Is it that one?
Yeah. Aye, Captain.
Those videos did terrible, but
it was fun.
It was fun. We had a blast.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great night.